Don't worry. It's the best investment you can have, honestly. Okay, so I don't know, Chloe left, but we can continue. She will join and I will track her on Slack. And now I'm going to share my screen and let's start with your Asana training. If at any point anyone has any questions and wants to go back on something, just let me know, raise the hand, and I will open the mic because I want to, I have gathered your questions from a lot of information that Chloe has given to me. So don't worry if you want me to go back and recap on something, let me know. So today we're going to cover this training in two parts. We're going to spend 30 minutes with some Asana basics. We're going to cover what is Asana, why it's so important. We're going to talk about a few features of Asana that are going to be really useful for you. And then we're going to go into another features such as tasks and milestones, the difference between them and why they're so important for projects, how to do some searches within Asana. That will be very important when we go into the second part to cover the Asana build out that Chloe has worked with you in terms of the break room, the team directory, SOPs index where you can find all the necessary processes that you need, and any other template that has been created for you. So let's start. I'm going to start the training. I'm in your Asana account, but with my user. So obviously I will not have any task assigned to me. And I may do some examples and assign a few tasks for you. And I will ask also for you to do it too, to explain how it works. So let's start with Asana. What is Asana? Asana is more than a project management tool. And they actually call themselves a work management tool because we have in Asana not just projects, but also communications. And as you're going to see in the second part for the SOP index, you can also have your knowledge base. You can have projects that are only to host certain documents that you want quick access to them. So Asana is very versatile in that part. Let's begin with how Asana is structured. Well, all going to see in Asana, and you can have multiple, eventually in the future, you can have multiple workspaces as we see in the top right corner. I'm in like all our clients' workspaces, and that is okay. That is good, especially when we want sometimes to have personal tasks and you don't want to have them in, let's say, I don't want to have them in Ditto or in Launchpad. I can create a personal workspace only for that, and that is okay. That is one of the things that I really also like about Asana. When we open it, the first thing we're going to see is a home view that I have to say I've loved the way that Asana have improved this home view because they have listened to feedback that clients have provided in the past. So I want to also let you know that whenever Asana is launching a new feature, you're going to see in any of the corners, right now it's not there because I've already used it, but you're going to see something like send feedback. So if there's something else that you would like to provide directly to Asana in how it's working, you can do that. You can ask for like, hey, yes, I really like this, but I would like, what if we can see this other thing inside Asana? With that feedback, they have improved these things. So now in the home view, we have the opportunity to have it customized. You can have your favorite color, like you chose at the beginning when Chloe asked you, you can add a color to how your home view looks, so it looks different. You can have also a private note map. So maybe you haven't done it yet. If you haven't, this is super useful. Now you have private notes that are not tasks, it's just something you have in your mind, you don't want to forget about it, so you can have it here only for you. You're going to have your tasks organized in priorities. What is upcoming, what is overdue, and what you have completed. And you can filter here. You can see it like full size or half size. So full size, you're going to see a complete list of all your tasks and also for projects. So if you manage so many projects, you can see like all the projects. The ones that you're going to see, you can choose to see the recent ones or your favorites. the one you mark as favorite, and I will teach you how to do that. And then the people you frequently collaborate with, the ones that you frequently send messages or assign tasks. This makes easier the assignment of tasks inside Asana. Okay, so this is something actually really nice about Asana and how they have improved this home view, because it's actually more useful than before. In the past, we were only going to be able to see a list of projects and tasks, and that's it. Now you can have a place to put your notes, to see what you have to do, and you're going to see it very organized. I don't know if you can go right now to your Asana and see that you can personalize this, okay? So this is a good place now to start our days. I say that because now we're going to talk about one of the important things about Asana, where you can manage your tasks and how you manage your communications and statuses and everything related to the work that you need to do. When I say you, it's individually. When you go to My Tasks, this is personal to everyone. My tasks are going to be, it's the place that is going to host all the tasks assigned to you. So here in My Tasks, I'm going to see all the tasks assigned to me, to Barbara, and each of you individually. You can organize this the best way that it works for you. In the past, I will say some tips on how to do it, but everyone works in a different way. There's people that likes the list view. There's more that are kind of a Kanban, like Trello, a board view, or a calendar is really useful, okay? And now you can also see files. These files are going to be files that are attached to your task, and I will cover that part too, the difference when we attach files and we only add the links to documents. You're going to see a big difference. So what is important here is that you need to decide, how do you want to start your day? You want to start your day by organizing your priorities, by to know what you need to deliver and what you have for the coming 2 to 3 days to organize your task. So with that, you can go to your task, to My Task, and reorganize it. These sections, this is not fixed. You can edit it. So by default, you have recently assigned to do today, do next week, and do later. You can rename these sections and create more if you need to. I don't suggest so much because it's good to see in just one view without having to scroll so much. So try to keep it simple. That would be my only suggestion. But you can personalize this to the way that it works best for you. And there are a few automations that you can set up here in your task, okay? For this, I'm going to go to here to show very quickly because I cannot create automations, but you can set up some rules, custom rules, if you choose, like, okay, every time that a task is assigned to me, I always want this task to be added in this particular project. I don't want to do it manually. So you can do it here. You can do it from your task. So depending on those things that you want to automate, go here. Go to rules in your task. You can create custom rules. And here you can decide which are those rules. So only remember, these are going to be for tasks that are assigned to you, not connected to projects. So this is a good way to connect your task with a specific projects. Another kind of rules that are really good here when we don't want to forget like an important date, you can set tasks to kind of receive reminders. Okay, I don't want to forget when I have a due date for a task. So you can set up reminders for that too. You can set a reminder when, let's say, a due date is approaching. I want to be reminder 3 days before a due date is approaching. And a nice way to have that is kind of receiving, like, you send yourself a comment, hey, this is due in 3 days. And when that happens in your task, you're going to see a comment, and that will also be reflected in your inbox. You're going to receive a notification in your inbox that is going to say that. So That is something also that I recommend here in my tasks, especially when we have so many tasks to handle in different projects and with different collaborators that we need to provide an input on what we're working with. Any questions so far with this part? No? Perfect.
Barbara, I might just jump in that like when Barbara's describing right here with the custom to customize, notice that she is in my tasks right now. So any rule that you add is just to the section of Asana called my tasks.
My task.
So,
exactly.
So if in the future we'll be talking about potentially not this call, but about projects that have rules potentially, right? And if it has a rule, it would be unique to that project. So just to make it clear, if you add a rule here, we'll only be giving you those types of notifications for things that are in my tasks, which are tasks that are assigned to you. So just wanted to add that little note there.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you, Chloe.
Yeah, you're crushing it. Keep on going, Barbara.
If I go too fast, let me know, please, to slow down. Let's go now to inbox, and after I will give some best practices that are going to be useful for both my task and inbox. In inbox, we receive all kinds of notifications. And I want to start by saying that this is also very individual to each of you. You can choose what kind of notifications you want to receive. And also, not just for this inbox in Asana, but also for your emails. I want to know how many of you like to receive notifications from Asana in your emails. I don't like it. I live by Asana, so I stop all notifications. And I know that many people don't like that too. So one of Robert is laughing. You don't like notifications from Asana in your email?
Like, not really. I feel like it just kind of stresses me out. But I've got the Asana link on Slack, so that just pings me anyway. So it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to cover that in this part. So one of the things that every time I'm added in a new project, in a new workspace organization in Asana, one of the first things that I do is I go here where I have my avatar in the top right corner, and I will go to settings. And then I will go to, after I put my name and what I do and everything, I will go to notifications. First, for the hour that I'm not working, and this is a really good suggestion for all of you, especially because you're going to receive, here we're going to cover notifications, not just in Asana, but also for email. So when we schedule, don't be notified. This happens here in Asana, both desktop and mobile. I have Asana in my mobile, so from 5 p.m. in the afternoon until 9 a.m. in the morning, I don't receive, they are going to be there, but I'm not going to be notified without any sound, without any orange button, anything. That's going to be there, but it's going to show up in my inbox like the notification that I have something tomorrow at 9 a.m. This is actually really good, especially for mental health and all of that. We're always like, whenever we see a notification, even though we're not working, we're like, I'm going to see what it is. And we're not disconnecting from work, so this helps you on that. And also the days that I don't want to be notified because I'm going to be busy with other things. So for me, it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're going to be there, but I will see that on Monday. Then let's go to the notifications that we don't want to receive in our email because they're here in Asana. Just uncheck these 4 things. Asana will, if you have this on, Asana will send you a notification for every activity, for every task that is assigned to you or that you are a collaborator. So basically for everything that happens in Asana, someone completes a task, sends a comment, even not for you, or creates a new task in a project, you're going to be notified for all of that. So this is the first one that I say, if you don't want to receive these emails, just turn it off. Mentions only is when you're actually tagged in a comment or in a task, in a project, or in a message. Again, this is individual to everyone. I also turn it off because I see it in Asana. If you check it, you're going to receive an email for that. Then we have kind of reports Asana sends, like a daily summary. This will send you an email for all the tasks that you completed during the day and the tasks that were that you had incomplete. You have to deliver it for the day, but were incompleted, or any overdue and upcoming tasks. And a weekly report does the same, but for the week. And includes status updates for projects if you receive it. So Robert, if you want to stop receiving notifications in your email, so just uncheck all of this. I do it, so imagine if I love Asana and I turn this off, you can imagine. Then we have browser notifications. Again, this is individual. You can choose whether you want to see a notification in your browser or not, or if you use the desktop app, it works the same. If you choose to see, like be notified, similar to Slack, that we see a square with what we are receiving, you can choose to do it or not. And then project notifications. This is different. This one, I always have by default receiving notifications from status updates and messages because I do want to see them. I want to see them in my inbox. And I can manage also individual projects. I can go here to manage individual projects, and I'm going to see here all the projects that I'm added on those projects and decide when to receive a notification from new tasks added, from messages, from project status updates. And I'm going to cover those to explain what are those three things. But for example, let's say here, if I turn this on, every time that there's a new task in that project, regardless if it's assigned to me or not, I'm going to see that in my inbox. So I have to ask myself, do I want to see that notification? No, I don't want to see it. I will turn it off. So all these kind of ways of being notified is very individual to each of you, to what do you want to see in your inbox and the way that you work. My suggestion to make your life easier and don't get crazy with all kind of notifications is try to have a routine that at least when you start, I will not say early in the morning, but when you start your workday, go to My Tasks, to the My Tasks section, and spend at least 5 to 10 minutes seeing what you have for the day and the following 3 days, and make sure that your priorities are properly set. And then go to my inbox, see what you have received, if someone has sent you a comment, if someone has asked you for something or assigned a task to you. And I'm going to take this moment also to talk about some sort of best practices that are inside Asana, that let's say, I'm going to take, not this one. I'm going to use this as an example. So let's say that here I'm receiving an update and I just want to say like, okay, I got it. I read this, but actually I don't want to send a comment for that. Just hit the like button. That's the reason for the like button in Asana for tasks and for comments or for anything. This is a way to say, okay, I read what you're sharing here. I received your task. This is the best way. We use it in Ditto. I use it every time anyone sends me something. This is my way of saying it that I read it. So if you spend 5 to 10 minutes checking your task and a few minutes checking your inbox, making sure it's all clear, and then archiving, it will look like this every day. Nothing to do. Now you can go and do whatever you need to do. And then at the end of your workday, do the same. Make sure your tasks for tomorrow are okay. and that you have nothing in your inbox. If you cannot do it, that's okay. Don't put so much pressure on you. Do it at the next day. But at least once a day, spend some time on your inbox to make sure that you clear it out and that you see everything that is being shared with you. Any questions here with inbox? No?
I'll just jump in. Yeah, I'll jump in again. And what Barbara's describing here is it sometimes takes some practice and some like time to get yourself into this routine. So we're not saying that we expect this immediately when you first start really getting more and more into Asana, but you'll find that as work transitions more into Asana, it helps significantly to have these best practices that Barbara described already like at the ready for yourselves. Getting into the practice of clearing out your inbox, getting into the practice of organizing your My Tasks, because then when you start your workday, you can go to your inbox, like your email inbox. I know I'm like very anal with my inbox. I clean it up like it's always 0, right? Because I know if something's in my inbox, that means I need to look at it. I need to like check it out. And if you notice that too many things are going into your inbox, right? Like Barbara described, like perhaps you're getting notifications for some update that you don't need to be getting a notification for. You can go into it, understand why you're getting it, and adjust your inbox accordingly. And I think Barbara might be showing one other feature that I'm pretty sure the follow-up.
But I don't have anything. I don't know if someone wants to. If someone can go right now and assign a task to me or you, Chloe, I can show something in the inbox that I really like. That is going to be the solution for what Chloe is mentioning. So while you're doing it, Chloe, I will just recap on that I know you're just getting to start to use Asana. So my suggestion for you, first try to spend some time deciding, now that basically your Asana is like a baby and it's very clean, okay, what do I want to be notified? I want to be notified for every task that is assigned to projects? No, I don't. So as you can stop that, and you're only going to be notified for tasks that are assigned to you, not for everything that is happening on projects. I want to be notified for projects updates? Yes, they're very important and we're going to cover that part. Do I want to be notified for messages? Yes, they're going to be. That will help you sort whatever you're receiving here on my inbox, okay, on your inbox. So, okay, Chloe just added here a task to me. So first, another feature of inbox that I use a lot, especially when I'm added in new projects, and I'm going to, I mean, it's not in the agenda, but I'm going to cover that very quickly. Let's say in this case, Chloe is assigning this task to me, and I will say, okay, the description is very clear. I don't have any questions. I'm good. Let's say that she added a due date for March 30th. Okay, I can cover the date. I'm okay. I will hit the like button and I will archive it. That's it. That's in my inbox. And I clear out, and now it's here in my task. I know that it's here and I know that I have to do it. Now, let me take it back. And if you archive something, don't worry, it's not going to be deleted. It's going to be here, and you can always push it back to your activity whenever you want to. Let's say that in this case, and I'm going to put this back to you, Chloe. Let's say that it's assigned to Chloe. And for some reason, I received the notifications because if you see here at the bottom, I'm a collaborator to the task. So I'm receiving whatever is happening in this task because I'm a collaborator here. But when I see the task, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Why do I receive this? I mean, I don't have to do anything with this. We're going to cover this in another time. You can remove yourself as a collaborator if you feel that you are not adding any value to the task and it's just filling your inbox. And especially when tasks are already in project, that we are a part of those projects. So you can remove yourself as a collaborator to a task. So whenever Chloe keeps working with this task and adding more comments, I'm not going to receive more notifications from this task. I will archive it and that's it. Another thing, let's say that I am a collaborator. I want to, okay, Chloe is going to work on this, that's okay. But before I archive it, because I know it's something important and I don't want to forget about this, you can create a follow-up task to yourself. This is really useful actually when it's tasks that are not assigned to us, that are assigned to someone else on the team, but we want to follow up on that, what's happening, without having to ask. This is one of the things about Asana. They want to they're on this mission to stop work about work and micromanagement and all of that. So this is really good to stop like, hey, how are you doing with this? Or hey, what's happening with this? Just create a follow-up task and it will be named like that. And I will say, okay, if it's for March 30th, I will add it for 2 days before to me. I will archive this and that will create a task for me in my task. Okay, for March 28th, I will open it. I will have the link to the task and I can go, okay, if I don't see any updates, I can like maybe ask here if it's very important. If Chloe finished with that, and let's say that I'm not a collaborator, so I'm not going to receive a notification in my inbox, but when I go there on March 28th, I'm going to see a check mark. Okay, the task is completed. I know the work got done and I can continue with what I'm going to do, or I don't have to ask how they're progressing with the task. So those are a few things that you have inside Asana. Again, we don't expect for you to use all of that and you don't have to do all those things for all the tasks. But at least for the ones that you know you do want to keep an eye on that, they are really useful. Okay? Anything else here to continue? I am taking
Sorry,
a bit
Barbara,
more.
I've just got a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. This sort of links back to the notifications as well. I know for me, I've got the Asana app connected up in Slack. So whenever something happens in Asana, I get a sort of Slack message. Is that currently set up for everyone, or is that something that sort of everyone needs to opt into and install individually? How does that Slack integration work?
Yeah. So I want to ask you, when I guess you were the one that set up the Asana connection with the Slack. If you want to make sure, okay, so if you might be the admin in Slack, so if you want to make sure that it happens for anyone, you can do it from the Slack at I forgot right now because I haven't used that in Slack for a while, but there's a way in the management of the apps in Slack that you can like ensure that it works for everyone, like the app is like included for anyone in the workspace in Slack. I will research on that and I will send you, but I know that there's a way. If not, I mean, if not all of you see that, you need to add that, like actually connect your Slack with Asana. You need to make sure you have it as an app on your Slack. But I haven't worked on that for a while. I know it works in that way, but I haven't worked on that for a while, so I have to check it.
All right.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah. I might add the Asana bot to the Melbourne office channel, and then if everyone needs to kind of grab that individually, they could from there, and I'll obviously approve it. Yeah, I'm just not sure if when I added it, it applied to everyone as the Slack workspace owner, but yeah,
I mean, it's different to add something more there. You can have, because there's different ways to receive notifications from Asana to Slack. So you have your own app, where you have all your channels, and then you have private messages, and then you have the apps. So if everyone has the app there, they're going to see their private notifications for every task that are assigned to you, any comments and all of that. But there's also the integration of specific projects with specific channels. So is that the one that you're referring also? No? Yeah.
Not 100% sure. I mean, I can bring my screen up if that's easier.
Okay. Well, we can cover that later. We can have another quick call to cover that, because there's two different things with Asana and Slack. We can let's continue, and we can cover that part later with you. Don't worry.
No worries.
So let's go now to creating tasks. Okay. And how to create tasks correctly. I'm going to do it like a light version on how that works, because I know we have certain time today, and there's going to be more trainings, and we're not going to cover all projects right now. So one of the good ways of creating tasks in Asana is that it has multiple ways of doing it. So the first one, we have an icon here at the top. You basically see it, all of you. And from here, you have multiple options. You can create tasks, create projects, send messages, or invite new people. So if you need to create a task, let's say I'm going to Sonny, you're the one that I see here. So I'm going to say, okay, I need something from Sonny. I will basically add here the name of the task. So something for you to consider. Tasks are actionable things. So when you are going to assign a task to someone, try to be very clear with what you're going to ask, and start with an action verb. So prepare, design, create, something that is action. What is it that I'm going to ask to Sonny to do? So what is the action that I need Sonny to do? So prepare XYZ. You have I mean, don't worry that it looks small. It's actually a very, very long space to create like a clear name on the task. Then we have a description field that is also very long. So try to be very clear with the description. For this, I always go with something that I learned years ago that is called the impact filter. That is basically, you have to ask yourself like 3 main questions. The first one, what is the purpose of this task? What is it that I'm going to ask here that I need to from someone else to create or to do? And then what are the outcomes? What do I need from this? And at the end, like to be very clear with the level of importance of the task. I'm not talking here about high importance, super urgent, none of that. It's just like to be clear on that. Okay, I need you to prepare XYZ, and I'm outlining all this description where I'm telling you the outcomes that I expect from this task. And then I will finalize with something that will let you know how important is this task to me that I need from you to do it. Okay? With that, you're going to make sure that the other person that is receiving the task has everything clear. If it's not clear, it will obviously ask you like a follow-up on the task or in a comment, but try to be very clear on that. And then at the end, if you have like, okay, I need this to be done by this specific date, that's okay. If it's a very short date, I always suggest don't assign a task from today to tomorrow, because that's like impossible. Before doing that, ask the person, hey, I need this very, like, it's very short time. Let's say today is Friday for you. So is there a way that you can prioritize this and you can work on it on Monday? And leave it to the person to then assign the due date, especially when it's short, very short term. If it's long term, you can go ahead and assign the due date and then just confirm with the person. And if you need to share something, you can attach documents from your computer, Google Drive, whatever you use. this is what I was mentioning at the beginning on files, that when we attach things, like if I attach a document here, that person is going to be able to access that also from files. We're not going to cover files today, but it's actually a really good feature, especially when we're going to run advanced searches. When we add files with only the link, that is, I know it's very common, and I know that a lot of people do it in that way, but it's not an actual file that we can search for in projects. So whenever you want to share something, do it from here, from attach a file. It will make easier the searches for that. And once we finish, just hit here, create a task. So I will do it, let's say, I will do it for Chloe. So whatever she has to do, create a task, and that will be a task for Chloe. Okay? You can see it's created. We have the description. Obviously, there's nothing right now, but it will look something like this. It's not in a project. It's a very light version of creating tasks, but if eventually turns out that it's a part of the project, you can add it from here. You have the option to add the task to a specific project. Okay? Any questions here on creating tasks? No? Okay. This is another thing that goes after creating the task. Try to, when you're incorporating all these best practices, try to also make sure that you hit complete on your task. That will make your life easier with less tasks assigned to you on my task. The other person will also be notified that you completed the task. And yeah, you receive a very nice unicorn or Jetty or whatever icon from that Asana decides to use. If you get bored, you can, I know with it's tab B, I forget sometimes. You see like cats and dogs. If you want to, you're too overwhelmed, Asana also have that. It's a hidden feature of Asana for dog lovers or cat lovers. Okay, so Chloe, I know we're short on time and you want to talk on the project, so I think that maybe we can pause here. That's okay.
It's pretty good. I think we definitely covered some more details that are going to really support the team and getting more comfortable within the tool. I know I saw some of the faces and reactions as you started talking through some of the features and whatnot. I'm assuming you guys might have more questions, want to get in there and play. I want to reiterate with what Barbara has just shared and whatnot. Again, as you get in the tool, we invite you right now to like get playful with this, have fun with this. It might feel something might slip through the crack. Expect that from one another, you know, like send a follow-up note, like do your best to all like start learning this tool together, because you're on a journey into so much benefit from getting in there. Like everything, sometimes at Ditto, we go through a period where something like we start a new project and we haven't all figured out how to work collaboratively in that project properly. So sometimes we'll be sending extra Slack messages or whatnot until all of a sudden we get into our standard way of working with one another on a project. And then it's so much easier. I don't receive Slack messages. I don't receive emails. All I'm doing is talking with Barbara on a task in Asana back and forth. We work in different time zones. We are asynchronously working with one another on the same project. And it ultimately leads to so much benefit. So just have confidence that you're going to learn this tool, and it's going to really support especially once more of the projects and the work gets done. I know some notes that we saw the feedback from your team, and some people weren't really exactly sure when to add tasks to Asana. They felt more comfortable keeping their own lists outside of Asana. They had their own systems, which is great. I was like that as well. When I first started with Ditto, I hadn't learned exactly how we were capturing our tasks in Asana. And slowly I transitioned from my sticky note desktop to-do list into Asana, and it's changed my life with how I work with my team. So have the confidence to start throwing those tasks in. Maybe you even just start with that sticky notepad on your home screen of Asana, but then at least you're in Asana versus a sticky note on your desktop, right? And then from there, maybe you start adding it as a task, in My Tasks, and see how you can slowly start adopting.
I think that especially because I have worked with so many people that transition from sticky notes to go to Asana, and now that Asana has improved the home view, the way that I go is always first go to your private notepad and go there and write down everything that is in your mind, in your notes, and start like sorting, okay, this is a task, this is just a note that I don't want to forget, and that will help you to start using Asana. Because again, it's not just some place that we're going to have projects, it's a place that is going to help us to prioritize everything we need to do. I have used Asana even for my own personal projects, so try to also maybe use it in that way, and you will see the difference in creating things. It actually helps. I can say in the past, and when I say in the past, 8 years ago, when like the first day that I met Asana, and it wasn't what it is right now. Right now it's so beautiful. It was like all this 90 team. It was awful. And I used to have all these notebooks and everything. Now, for the past 2 years, I haven't bought. This is my only notebook, this Rocket book, and it's erasable. So after that, I don't have any notebooks. Only this and Asana. And I have connected, if you wonder, I connected with Zapier. So everything I took a picture and you go to my Asana too. I can teach you that if you want to. So yeah, try with that. Start with how you're working right now and try to incorporate Asana. Start by maybe with the ones that you collaborate the most. So let's say I do a lot of work with Carrie. Now I see you here at the beginning. So instead of sending chats in Slack, hey, I need this, try to create a task in Asana to the person and see how you communicate. Try to start using the comments and all those features, and that will help you to start adopting the use of Asana. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So I know we've got 5 minutes left on this training. What I'd love to do, so I have created a video that walks through all of the projects that we have now inside of your Asana. So that video walkthrough is actually really supportive to walk through everything, but I'm going to just quickly share my screen and tab through those and just give you a quick high level rundown of what they are, what their intention is, and whatnot. Again, I'd like to say after this session, make sure you get into some of these workspaces, check them out. We might need to make sure, I'll check in with Jay too, that everyone has the right access levels to these projects, which is something that's cool about Asana, is you can ensure that different projects only have the team members who actually really need to be in there to reduce the clutter on Asana. It's not to silo work, it's literally just to keep you from being overwhelmed with different projects. So we'll make sure you have the right access to these projects, but go ahead and poke around in them, play with them, watch that video that walks through how they all work. So again, you can get more comfortable, and then bring those questions to next time. If there is, which you're not crazy, that has not been scheduled yet, we'll be scheduling it shortly, the Asana number 2 training. So I'll share my screen quick and just give you guys a fun little rundown of what
I was going to tell you that, Chloe, if you wanted to let them know. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So what we created here is this team. It's called the Learning Commons. So again, this is teams. These are teams, the verbiage in Asana, and then these are the projects. So the Learning Commons team is really a one-stop shop for pretty much a lot of new employees can go to all of this. So we've got our break room, which if you guys remember your introductory slide deck to Launchpad, all of that information is now transformed into this Asana board. So you can run through all the important information about Asana culture, all of that, and also all the internal policies. So I know that there had been, when we went through our deep dive, sometimes there was ambiguity to some of the policies regarding time off and how stand-ups are run and PTO requests and all of that. So that is all captured within this break room here. Again, I am going to fly through this because the video that I have for you guys is very, very inclusive of all this information. The team directory, you guys may have seen this. This is why I know what you guys all look like, is to allow new hires to be able to come in, see Sarah's profile. These haven't been completed to the detail. There is a new hire intake form, which will feed into this task, and it'll have all the information. So all of you can actually go back through and fill out that form. So the team directory will be completed with like these questions. Again, the video, I'm 99% positive it walks through that, how to do that. We've got the SOP index and the tech we use. The tech we use is all, it is a board. So it's quick, it's a view of all of the different technology that you guys are using within Launchpad and some quick walkthrough videos. The idea of this project is that as you use technology and there's standard operating procedures related to that technology, you would add them to this, to these items. So if you have a new hire who doesn't know HubSpot, they can go to this HubSpot and get all of the information that they might need. And again, that's linked to the SOP index, where there is also all of these different types of information, including a bunch of Asana walkthrough information, how to use some of these projects right here. I'll stop at this point right now with the Learning Commons team, just in the interest of time. Again, I'll be sending through this video that has the walkthrough of the other projects so that you know what's in your Asana, what's going on there, and you can start to get familiar with it. And then again, if you can bring your questions to the next training regarding these projects, why you might are confused about it, how you should use it versus how maybe Dane and Jay should use it, you know, those types of questions, those are all safe to ask us and to ask the team. It's okay to not really know yet, as we are, no one's gonna get offended if you think you should be in a project and you're not, like, they'll just kick you out, it's fine, or they'll just add you in, it's fine. Just get ready for some fun playing with the new tools. So that being said, we'll let you guys get going with your day. We'll provide this recording to anyone who has not been able to attend live, and for your reference to come back to. And we will be in touch with you guys about when training number 2 is going to take place. Sound good?
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Right.
Great. Awesome. And we'll talk to you guys soon. And yeah, awesome. And Jay and Dane, if you want to stick on, I think we'll have this same video link for the next call as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Great.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.